We haven't had Mr. Josh with us for a while. Josh, it's so nice to see you.
I'm back.
You're back.
Yeah, I had to take care of a lot of stuff. So thank goodness, we were able to have some people fill in and
You bet.
get some reps, and it's been really fabulous. David is unbelievable. Obviously, you're always unbelievable. Elizabeth is
Oh,
incredible.
bless
So
your
we
heart.
really appreciate everyone's flexibility, patience with me as I've been trying to get us in different countries. So it's exciting.
That's amazing. Hey, maybe we can start off by saying, you people haven't seen you for a bit. Maybe you can share with them some of the new stuff that's going on with Cardi Miracle because I know things are popping. This company's moving. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot's going on. I know John was nominated for Product of the Year
Yeah.
and in the Doctor magazine. So yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a company called Top Doc, the Top Doctor magazine, and allegedly they are in hundreds of thousands of doctors' offices across the globe, and they still have like soft cover magazines in the waiting room, and they're a big
Very
deal. So
cool.
they nominated us for the product of the year. John Wayne accepted this awesome award in New York, and then there was another award given in Florida, and so he's been doing a lot of traveling, and we're just been rocking and rolling. Things are going
That's
awesome.
awesome. That's so awesome. So, welcome everybody. Hang on. This is going to be quite a ride.
Yeah. It's awesome. Well, Lisa, I gotta say, you're rocking that hat. I love the Pulse
This is my
Beat hat.
favorite. I love my cardio hat. I love when people ask me about it.
That's the thing too, is that we are in the process, in the works of getting some swag and putting that together so that we can start, selling our
I love
shirts
it.
and doing hats and other fun things, promotions and water bottles and everything. So we've got a lot of stuff in the works. It's really fun.
I love that. Any questions yet?
Let me check real quick. So I just see that Elizabeth was welcoming everybody. I don't, one of these common questions that I have actually that I've been that I'm doing an educational video series on are basic questions. So, one of our partners, Moms for America in particular, he was telling us, the COO, Zach, that he's had a lot of his people ask, "What is nitric oxide and why do I need
Mhm.
it? Why should I care?" So, what would you say? What is your answer to that? Your 90-second elevator pitch to that, Lisa. What is nitric oxide?
It's the secret to ultimate life. It's the ultimate molecule. It's a gas that has to take place in order to move your blood flow throughout your body. If you have stagnant blood flow, you have dis-ease and you have a breakdown in tissue and your breakdown in the blood flow, and life is in the blood. So it's really important that we have extensive amount of nitric oxide. And the older we get, the less we make it. And the endothelial system is extremely important to our ultimate health. And when that's been damaged, like it has been the last 4.5 years, you know, we really have to do something about it. And because Cardio Miracle not only has, we were talking about this before the call, Cardio Miracle not only has a nitric oxide support, but it also has over the other 700 ingredients in it, which each one of those were chosen because they help to support the nitric oxide messaging in the body, right? It's a messaging molecule. In addition to that, what I think is exciting is with all those ingredients we have and all those nutrients in there, CoQ10, I was getting some questions this week about, how does CoQ10, do you need nitric oxide with CoQ10? Well, CoQ10 is a really essential nutrient that's in the center of your cell. And they've done many studies on CoQ10 and nitric oxide. And what they're finding is put together, they literally are like Batman and Robin. I mean, they go through, they support each other, they shoot through the veins and arteries, while at the same time it's helping to support the mitochondria and keeping those capillary beds open. And that's really the most important thing. We need the blood flow.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, because the thing is nitric oxide is a gas that there's
Yes.
not, like Judy says all the time, this is not nitric oxide. This
Mhm.
this is whole food and whole and organic fruits and vegetables in this drink. And what it does is it helps support to boost your nitric oxide production. And that's exactly what it is. We produce nitric oxide on our own, and that's why we can't exactly patent the product of Cardio
Right.
Miracle, because it's all whole fruits and vegetables that create nitric oxide. And nitric oxide was called the spark of life in the cell and
Yes.
the miracle
Yes.
molecules. So it when you are talking about things like CoQ10 and these different vitamins and minerals, that yes, nitric oxide kind of paves the way, like for that, like John said perfectly on AM radio on Coast to Coast.
I listened to that. That was great.
He
That
said
was so
some
good.
of these other nitric oxide products that claim to be nitric oxide stimulating are like little squirt guns compared to Cardio Miracle, that is like a fire hose of nitric oxide in your systems, in your veins, in your arteries. And that was such a clear description and comparison to me,
Right.
to
Right.
be like, oh my gosh, a squirt gun to a fire hose. I love that, don't you?
Yeah. And also, we know that most other supplements, they only last what, 2 to 7 hours, maybe? Ours
Maybe.
last 72.
Yeah.
How exciting is that? And I
Yeah.
do believe it's because we have all the supporting nutrients at the same time. Excuse me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so I love the fact that I've been asked that a little bit, and I wanted to do a whole video series on just basic questions like can children take Cardio
Yeah.
Miracle? There used to be a time that we would say that anyone that is below the age of 22 probably shouldn't supplement with nitric oxide therapy. But now, because our food is so compromised, and we
Oh
know
boy.
that RFK is doing a heck of a job trying to fix that.
Yes. Yeah.
But right now, everyone on the planet needs to supplement with nitric oxide therapy. I think that
Yep.
that's the truth. So when people ask you if kids can take it, Lisa, what do you say?
I say if it would, this is what I say. If it was my child, I would give him that over anything else that's on the market today. I mean, if you go back and you look what was in Gatorade when Gatorade started compared to what's in Gatorade now, and I would ask everybody if you really knew the different ingredients, and I don't mean to pick on Gatorade, but some of the drinks out there, look at what it actually is. Look it up.
Yeah.
You're going to see the chemical compound.
Oh my
And
heck.
in ours is nothing but whole food, fruits and vegetables, some wonderful nutrients that come from mushroom and some other wonderful ingredients. Nothing in there, in my opinion. I mean, look at some of these drinks that they're giving their kids. They're giving them diet sodas, they're
Yeah.
giving them other things. And again, what do they have? They have sugar. And if you listen to some of the latest information out there about sugar, so let me just say this for a minute. This is one of my I'm getting off on a tangent for a moment. But
Please.
when you would have patients come in and we would put them in, let's say we give them a scan and we would inject a certain solution in their veins and we check for let's say, oh, somebody has a mass somewhere. We're going to put them into a CT or MRI or with contrast. Did you know that contrast is sugar? So a lot of times what happens is that contrast will go to the cancer
Oh my.
and it will light it up unless it's a radioactive. But a lot of them, they target the areas of the tumors and the areas of dis-ease in the body. So sugar is so truly bad for us. And then you add all the different colorings. I mean, find me a Gatorade that doesn't have a color 5 or color 3 or,
You won't
yellow,
find
green,
it.
red,
Yeah,
right?
you won't find it.
Crazy.
Yeah. Well, I was just looking just to make sure. I mean, I knew it doesn't, but I was looking at our ingredient panel, and what I have determined as I've been watching what I eat and watching what I put in my body is that if you can't pronounce what is in the ingredient list, then you
That's
probably
right.
shouldn't take it. Right?
That's
And
right.
so, with ours, it's L-arginine, it's L-citrulline, it's estrogen, it's I mean, these are taurine, these are
Vitamin
fruits and
C.
vegetables and vitamin
Yeah.
C and vitamin D, and I love that. So as people are looking at the ingredients and seeing what they're putting in their body and making sure that they're not compromising their health. I mean, if you look on the back of a Gatorade bottle, as we're saying, Gatorade, Powerade, whatever they are, even the vitamin water, I dare say,
Yeah.
they're going to be ingredients that you're not even going to be able to pronounce.
That's
And
right.
and if you look at a sucralose or an aspartame, then our body doesn't even know what to do with those
Mm-mm.
artificial sweeteners. So
No, you're absolutely right. And the other thing that now it's coming to summer, hopefully over there in Utah, you're starting to get summer. But there's a study done some years ago that if you drink, and we have a good amount of vitamin C in our nutrient dense product, if you take a glass and you have 50 to 100 milligrams of vitamin C in it, you go out in the sun. Did you know that it's more difficult because it goes directly into your bloodstream? Therefore, it protects your skin. And that vitamin C is one of the biggest things you can take internally before you go out in the sun to protect your skin.
wow, that's
Isn't that
awesome.
cool? And we have the whole food vitamin C, so it's so amazing.
I love that. I have to shift gears. I just got like one of the best messages I've ever seen from Edward.
Oh,
So from Edward Bird, he said, I wanted to tell you that you're my hero, Josh. I couldn't do what my doctor wanted me to do to lose weight and get my blood pressure down, but after listening to you on these chats about intermittent fasting, I lost 25 pounds and my blood pressure is now normal with using Cardio Miracles. So, oh my
oh,
goodness. Thank you so much. That means so much, seriously, because I never know if, you
yeah.
know, it's just like I can't. I'm like I talk about my weight loss journey. I mean, my fiance and I, like everywhere I go.
That's
Seriously,
so
it's so
awesome.
funny. People are like, "Who are you? What's your name?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm Josh. I've lost like 180 pounds. I mean, I used to, I I figured out all this." So, but the thing is I'm so glad that it was able to help a little bit, and I'm gonna put something put a thank you in the mail for you, there, Edward. It's not gonna be a check, but I'm gonna send you. So, thank you so much for your kind comment. That means a lot, man. But
That was really sweet. But we don't know. We never know what somebody's going through.
yeah,
And that's where these calls, they take place every other week. And sometimes there might be just one testimonial or one question that could really change somebody's life. We don't know what people are suffering with.
absolutely. Yeah. And then looks like Susan Adams had a question. She said, any news on the new eyes supplement? Love you guys in Cardio Miracle. Have we discussed an eye a supplement for the eyes, Lisa? I can't.
Not that I'm aware of, but
Okay.
I know that they don't usually let a lot of things out until we're kind of on
Yeah.
the brink of
Like
things.
really close.
Yeah.
No, I know that John,
But John is always working on stuff.
yeah, he really is. My dad's always working on stuff. He did talk about he talks a lot about periodontal. And what is the I'm so sorry. What is the official name for the eyes? I can't remember. It's like
Is
a
it glaucoma or
yeah, probably
cataracts?
so, like a glaucoma product or something like that. Like
Cataracts
I
or glaucoma?
I just know that some people that do take Cardio Miracle have said that it really helps with their eyesight. I mean, I've not met anyone that takes less than 4 servings a day, um, that doesn't say it helps with their eyesight. That doesn't, you know, not say that it helps with their eyesight. I mean, people have said that like they've been able to go down a prescription or they don't need to wear their driving glasses as much or whatnot. So I know that it does help. I'm not 100% sure if he's focusing right now on that particular field or that particular
He may
subject
have
matter.
mentioned something on the family night.
Yeah, he may have,
Maybe some
yeah,
of the things that he's working on. He
yeah,
gets so excited about
yeah.
things. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I know it's awesome. And so what's so exciting about what we're doing and we have been introduced to some people that are going to help us with maybe some partnering products,
Mhm.
as far as like meal replacements. Well, I know him and I, that John and I wanted to work on doing an enhancement with Cardio Miracle even, and putting some like ketones in it and whatnot, so that we can help with people that are in ketosis, and make sure that it doesn't kick them out or whatnot. And so it's been kind of an interesting journey to
Yeah.
explore some of these different avenues, which would be cool. So I think the meal replacement is a really good idea, and it would be fun to venture into, and I would love to test it myself, because I intermittent fast, sometimes for 20 hours a day. I know that John has challenged a lot of our contractors to do a cardio miracle fast whenever they're feeling bloated or feeling like
Yeah.
they had a overconsumption week or something. So it's like Wade's one of our guys, Wade Mitchell. He just finished a 5-day cardio miracle fast, and he said he felt unbelievable. He was down like 17 pounds. So
Wow, that's so cool.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. But again, like Dr. Judy talks about, if your cells are satiated and, if your body's getting enough, whatever it needs, the body doesn't, a lot of people are saying how they're cutting down on their cravings. And because we don't have sugar, we don't have caffeine, we don't have any of the chemicals and the poisons that are in a lot of things.
Right.
Your body doesn't have to protect itself.
Yeah.
And I do have a question. Somebody just texted me.
Oh, good.
They said, will Cardio Miracle help with detox? I
That's
think
great.
that's a great question.
That really is. Yeah. And for me, it really did help in the beginning of my weight loss journey, to go from someone who was absolutely addicted to sugar, that
Okay.
I needed it every day. Sugar is the most powerful drug. I'm convinced, because I've never tried any other drugs, so I'm just that guy. But I know for me that sugar was so addictive, and the detox process it wasn't an aggressive detox, but it certainly helped me to abstain from feeling the need to do sugar every single day.
Hmm.
So,
Well, the
eh,
one thing that I think is interesting, because you already do intermittent fasting. So if there's any of you out there that are already doing that, the one thing, you don't have to break your fast if you're taking Cardio Miracle. Go ahead and take it at the same time, because what it does is part of the cleaning out process. It's the autophagy that's happening, and it will go through like a bunch of Pac-Man, and your T cells and your cleanup cells will start to, you know, just eat everything up,
love
and
it.
help your cells to detoxify. The other thing is most livers, I can't remember the percentage, but the last percentage was very, very high. It was like, I think over 67% of people have terrifically compromised livers.
Mm.
And if you look at every single one of the ingredients in the Cardio Miracle product, it's designed to help the body increase blood flow. Therefore, what's happening is it's increasing, what's going on in your body, swishing things out, throwing things out in the garbage can. So, and also the mushrooms are extremely important in the product, along with the synergy that you have with the vitamin C. Vitamin B, by the way, is another really good. We think about vitamin B as though it were to give us energy,
Mm.
and that's one thing. But vitamin B is also part of, revving up your engine of your cell. So it does detox from within the cell, so it can pull the garbage out, pull good things in. So I think if I were somebody going, okay, so I'm going to I wouldn't consider calling it a detox, but I think it will naturally take care of the debris, especially if you're doing intermittent fasting.
Absolutely. Yeah. And with the intermittent fasting, it's going to help you, not only with energy, but just due to the extra blood flow,
Yeah.
but not caffeine or anything. I do have to say that, I've got two of I have to define them as my Polynesian brothers, and we used to sing together in high school, and we used to go to all the cheerleaders' homes and woo them with our voices. We'd sing Boys to Men covers, it was really fun. Anyway, they both they both became truck drivers for Chevron. They're twins, right? It's
Oh, wow.
one of them's named Mecca, the other's Lefa, and they were the Tavita twins, and they do everything together. And they were drivers for Chevron. They both got laid off, and
Oh,
they recently, and they're starting their own trucking company. And they reached out to me, and they said they want to go on a weight loss journey, but they don't know where to start because they're both 450 plus. I mean, they're big dudes and they're like 5'10, you know. So I'm
wow.
6'3". So when I was 480, at least it distributed kind of well. But anyway,
Yeah.
them being 5'10 and 450 plus, it was a huge deal. So
Oh, my.
so they both reached out to me. I got them both on the Cardio Miracle, and they have both said individually, texting me over and over and over, that they say, man, at the end of a hard day, especially when they're starting their own trucking company to be independent
Oh,
drivers,
yeah.
they're like, we used to just come home and just crash on the couch, playing it, play video games, whatever. And they're like, now we can't wait to get home to work out. Like we can't wait to
Wow.
just get up and work out or like hit the gym at 4 a.m. before they get on the road. And I mean, that is not just placebo. That
No.
that is that I dare say that that's a detox in itself, right?
Mm.
Where you're actually having the motivation to get up and go. I had another
Yes,
I had
yes.
another guy that one of my buddies, old buddies from high school, he's like, dude, I finally got on your product. And he goes, I have this motivation to like work and like provide and I'm like, finally, so
But
it's
let's think about this. That's a really good point to make because if you talk to Dr. Avery Jackson, who we all love, he's the medical consultant, neurosurgeon, but he talks about how your brain has to detox. So think about this. If your brain is not getting blood flow, if it's not getting up and you don't have the nitric oxide to push it up the hill past your brain, right? Across your blood-brain barrier, your brain isn't going to detox as much as it needs to, right?
good point.
So then what happens is when your brain is firing all cylinders, now you have a more clarity of thought. You have it takes the monkey off your back, and maybe you're feeling kind of low at the end of the day. I mean,
Yeah,
that is amazing. That's really amazing. The other thing for truck drivers, you already know this because you're a regular on the show, the trucker
yeah,
show.
yeah,
But because they're sitting all day, what they need tremendously is the nitric oxide flowing through the veins and arteries because they're sitting all day
oh yeah,
long.
yeah. They're sitting all day long and they're eating just junk,
Yeah,
and so it's really interesting. So that's what I'm doing as well. There, people are seeing me on on the podcasts and everything, and
amazing.
I'd like to throw out a shameless plug to our to our podcast, the Pulse Beat with sponsored by Cardio Miracle.
Yes,
Right now it is streaming on Rumble, and we're getting on the different podcast um, places, like Apple and I'd like to get us on iHeartRadio and stuff like that,
sure.
And so it's really interesting to see people as they're coming out of the woodwork, so to speak, because they're starting to see, me and you on these podcasts and the very interesting people that we're talking to. So
Oh
what are
God.
some of the main questions that you get, Lisa, from people talking or asking about Cardi Miracle?
Well, the big thing, I think the number one question we get is, do I have to take any other supplements if I take this one? Because they look on the back and they see this plethora of ingredients and they go, oh, I'm already doing vitamin D, I'm doing vitamin E, I'm doing, what have you. And we say, no, we'll do a cross comparison. But here's the most amazing thing when you start looking at comparing your other products to what is in the Cardi Miracle product. Then you go even a step farther and you go, is it a whole food base? Is it an organic whole food base, or is it just a regular vitamin C or regular magnesium or regular zinc? Because now you're in high octane, right? So
Yeah,
everything we have in our product is much more effective than dead minerals and vitamins. There was a CD that we used to send around many, many moons ago, and the label on it was "Dead Doctors Don't Lie."
Oh, yeah.
Well, I would say today, people are looking in all kinds of different ways to get an edge on their health because we just went through, 4.5 years of HE double hockey sticks,
Mhm.
and people realized during that period of time the most important thing they have in their life is their health. If we don't have our health, we don't have anything. And I
Absolutely.
do believe that if you've been on the product, excuse me, for a little while, you're going to find that you do have that. You want to get off the couch and exercise. You do have that clear thinking where you want to go and do something that, is going to be advantageous to your life, or you're going to, go visit with somebody because the isolation alone, not to get off in some social projects, but problems, but truly the isolation alone. So part of what we do every other Tuesday is to bring you into the Cardio Miracle family. Josh and I and the team are so excited that you can join us every Tuesday, but also to know that you have a team behind the product. It's just not a product that somebody makes in a warehouse and puts on Amazon or puts out there. This is a family. This is a family that cares about you. They care about all the, everybody that you introduce it to. And so I'm so thrilled about that we put the human touch on everything we do.
Absolutely. You didn't happen to look at the question that was on there, did you? Because you kind of answered it
Oh, okay.
without even.
No, tell
So
me.
the question is, how do you confirm the ingredients are pure? What is it? What is it? Where is it compounded? And
Well,
this is my. I'm not laughing at your question
no,
by
I
any
know.
means, Patrice, but I'm just saying it. That is what separates Cardio Miracle from every other nitric oxide boosting product out there is that we're talking about whole and organic fruits and vegetables that we source from. And so these ingredients in here are not they're not made in a lab. They're not synthetic.
That's
These
right.
these are extracted from whole and organic fruits and vegetables, which is unheard of in the industry. And so if anybody's ever complaining about, oh, this too expensive or this
Yeah.
or that, I mean, that is the whole proof in the pudding, I guess I could say, is that because John Hewlett is not willing to skimp
Compromise.
or
Yeah.
compromise. I mean, he can they make vitamin C or, synthetically. They make vitamin
All the
D
time.
synthetic, and we don't do that. We extract it from whole and organic fruits and vegetables. And so with this process that we do, we actually manufacture in Springville, Utah, and it's at a company called CSB, and they follow GMP certification, which is good manufacturer practices,
Yeah.
and we make sure that they test the efficacy of every single ingredient at least 5 times before they put it in the pouch. So it's tested time and time again. And also, we have a 60-day money back guarantee. If it's not helping you within 60 days, you don't feel a difference, send it back. And that's taken advantage of less than 1% of the time. So, Lisa, do you have anything else to say
No.
about the ingredients?
I think, well, you do have proprietary,
Yeah,
information that you
yeah.
can't share about everything. But what also is exciting to me is, Josh and I are just starting to work with some of the boxers, the MMA, and we could not get this product in there if it was not approved. There you go. Yeah, it's an
By
approved product. So
BSCG. Yeah.
yes, and any athlete that's out there, I mean, they put us through the ringer. So, no caffeine, no stimulants, no guarana, no anything like that that's going to be harmful to your athletic performance.
Yeah. So yeah, they've done the testing for you, and it's something that we encourage you to go to cardiomiracle.com/studies, and you
Yes,
can read. We're the only nitric oxide supplement that has 4 internationally acclaimed studies that are about to be published so that you read those, and I guarantee you, dollars to donuts that you won't think twice about the efficacy, once you
that's
take time to
right.
read those. So it's Pretty amazing.
Okay, they posted that up there.
Yeah, thank you so much, you guys. Do we have another question?
I think we answered the detox question.
Yeah, she says, I am, someone said, an anonymous entity says, I am pleased that the mucus is cleared from my lungs and sinuses. And so can you kind of explain that, Lisa, why that's happening? That's a detoxing, right?
Well, that's a detox, but it's also, part of the increase in fluid and increase in heart, blood flow and oxygen and increasing your mucous membranes. I mean, all that has to do with blood flow because your endothelial system is that small lining in between your tissue and your veins itself, and that's deeply affected by nitric oxide. So that definitely will help there, and it helps to loosen things up. And maybe you're drinking a little bit more water now that you've been on the Cardio Miracle as well, because we suggest that, the rule of thumb is drink half your body weight in ounces of water per day. So if you're 120 like Josh, then you would drink 60, you would drink 60 ounces. Come on now.
Or if you're working out for 2 hours a day,
Yeah.
boom.
Oh, golly. But no, that happens automatically when you start detoxing. Your body starts to release.
Yeah. You guys, it's been such a pleasure. If you have any other additional questions, if you haven't asked them or haven't gotten them answered, please reach out to us at support@cardiomiracle.com. And or you can email me personally at josh@cardiomiracle.com and we can get your questions answered. I appreciate everyone who's gotten on here tonight. We're gonna cut it short if that's okay, Lisa. And
Absolutely.
did you have anything to end with for us?
No, I just want to encourage everyone, don't be afraid during this time of the year when there is allergies and you guys are out in the sun and you're moving around a little bit more and you might be perspiring. It's really important to take the product and don't be afraid to take more.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I told my friends. I say, consistency is the name of the game.
It
You got to
is.
do it. So
So
thank you
God
so
bless
much, Lisa.
everybody. Thank you, Mr. Josh. You're amazing.
You're the
Thank
best.
you.